Welcome to the Loveland All Sports Podcast, where the land of love can get updates on not only Loveland sports, but learn and discuss many sports topics. Shoot any ideas you want to lovelandallsports@gmail.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook as the Loveland All Sports Pod. Loveland All Sports Pod is sponsored by Meredith DeWitt at Brittany Fritz Realty, Loveland's #1 boutique brokerage. Contact Meredith for any and all of your real estate needs at meredithbfteam@gmail.com. It's been a long time, and I apologize, but it's been a fun and busy summer. Many of you have asked when the next episode is, so here you go. I wanted to go back and sit down with Shayne Lyons, the Assistant Athletic Director of Loveland High School, to get a spring sports wrap-up on each team, learn about our ECC conference teams, and learn about our district qualifying boys basketball and boys volleyball teams, and get a preview of the fall sports season and outlook. So enjoy this episode. All right, well, it's been a little bit of a break thanks to the summer and a busy summer schedule, and my paying job took a little break here, but certainly want to make sure we revisited a Loveland High School spring sports wrap-up. So I'm sitting here with Assistant Athletic Director Shayne Lyons. Shayne, how's the summer going, man?
It's pretty good. You know, it's actually been a hot one, especially really ever since that middle of July, but it's gone pretty well. Fall sports have open fields. We wrapped up spring sports in mid-June pretty much, so camp's pretty much over, so it's been a pretty good summer so far.
Good. You get to travel anywhere?
Yeah, I went to Myrtle Beach with my family in mid-June, and then mid-July I went to Punta Cana with some friends.
Oh, wow.
Kind of get away for a little bit. It was nice to get away, but, you know, end of July, you hit the ground running, getting everything ready for tryouts that start on August 1st.
Awesome. And then tryouts start August 1st, and we start school early, August 13th, so
yeah.
it's here, man, right?
It is here.
Awesome. Well, let's go back in time and talk a little bit about 24-25 season and talk about all the kids, how the teams did, and then recognize the All-ECC student athletes. So let's kick it off with girls lacrosse.
Girls lacrosse, a relatively young team, graduated 3 seniors this year. They finished 4-14 overall with a tough schedule, and they finished 2-5 in the conference. And the ECC in lacrosse is very good, especially at the top end. With that, though, Marissa Finley comes back next year. She was first team all-conference. Lola Jones, senior, graduated, was second team. Jordan Moeller was second team, and Maria Yeager was second team, and honorable mention Harper Stanfield. So a young group with some success on the JV level as well. So over the next 2 to 3 years, that group is going to be a very good team and a force to be reckoned with.
And did we retain all of our coaches so we can build on that?
Yep, they will be the same coaches.
Awesome, good to hear. Well, staying with the stick, let's go to boys lacrosse.
Boys lacrosse. They finished second in the league, 7-1, and the ECC is a very tough league with an 11-8 overall record. With this team, this is a team that doesn't back down from any competition. They will play the best teams in the state week in and week out. So that's why the overall record of 11-8 with a 7-1 ECC record. They open up each year with Hoover from Cleveland, who's always top 5 in the state. We play Moeller, who's good. Sycamore, very good. Sycamore, so Moeller got second in the GCL, and then Sycamore second in the GMC, I believe, to Mason. So we do play a lot of the top teams. And also another team that I think only loses 4 to 5 kids with a lot coming back. Defensive Player of the Year in the ECC was Kyle Harden, who was only a sophomore.
I like to call him James. So when I coached him low league football, he was James Harden.
Really?
And he did not have the big beard. But
that is hilarious.
That was his nickname as a little kid.
Also with him, I'm pretty sure he got all the way honors of honorable mention all state, which even just getting out of this area, Cincinnati lacrosse is very tough, especially as a sophomore, especially to get on lists like that.
Yeah, very proud of him.
A lot of first teamers on this team: Lincoln Boldazar, Hudson Fay, Adam King, Matt Coney, Sam Conner, Sawyer Muchmore. Second team: Luke Doherty, Rockophelia, Nikki Gordon, Will Whitekert, and third team Gabe Dietz. Again, that's another team that is going to be returning a lot of kids, especially I went to both of their postseason games where we played Kings. We won 14-7 at home. And then I went to St. X, who St. X is an absolute juggernaut at the lacrosse. We started the game in the first 2 minutes. I think we were down 7-8-0.
Wow.
And we ended the half, I believe we were down 8-4. So we had won the second quarter. We actually won a lot of the first half. Played really well defense, and I think that's where our defense showed up. And our goalie Will Whitekert really showed out. I think he might have finished the game with 30 saves, and with a high power offense like that, that's really impressive.
Yeah, that's tough.
So a team that'll be fun to watch, especially coming forward.
Absolutely. All right, moving to the hard court, boys tennis.
Boys tennis was 6-2 in the league and 9-5 overall, which was good enough for third place in the league. And another sport, I mean, it's a tough league to win at all costs. So the way boys tennis works with a few other sports, it's more of an individualized tournament, and that's how you get first team. So none of our guys really got first team because it's really hard to win your singles or your doubles. But second team was Ethan Deck, Liam Amy, and Alex Hill, and third place was Beckett Zappin. Again, that's a program that is usually good no matter what. We're usually top third in the league and very competitive. Another team that is a good youth program, good middle schoolers, so a lot of kids that just come up and we're ready to roll.
All right, great. And then softball, how'd they do this year? Softball,
I believe only one senior. So 10 and 14, which I think that's a game or two better than last year. This year, they were led by first team Riley Rippinger and Olivia Williams, second team Peyton Brown, and honorable mention Grace Alkire. All four of those girls are back next year.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's a team they broke. I think they broke their home run record. They hit for a high average. They fielded well. Just some games, kind of like, softball and baseball, like a few bad innings here and there. It hurts you a little bit. But a lot of effort from that group and everything returning. Again, a group that is gritty and they attack at the plate. So they're a lot of fun to watch. So next year, I'm excited to see what they do in our D2 tournament run, especially in the ECC. So
yeah. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear. All right, moving on to the track. So let's start with boys track. We had a lot of success there.
A lot of success in the boys track, especially with our two throwers, David Lorick and Rezver Kiki. They went 1-2 in the shot, and with David winning in the shot in the ECC, and then Rez won the discus, and David was second in the discus. So those two kids, they went all the way to state. Rez ended up getting second in the state to a kid named CJ Sano who's committed to Ohio State to play football.
In discus, right?
In discus, yes,
Yep.
in discus. So that was a lot of fun to watch. And just watching David Lorick, David got fourth in the shot, and David's only second year throwing, which was pretty impressive. I would say my favorite part, because I went up for state track, was watching those two support each other all weekend.
Really?
Watching those two, because those throwers are always together, and that group of throwers is... they're all close, from other schools, because all the top guys, they kind of go to the same tournaments and they compete all year, which is a lot of fun. And I went to a lot of the regionals and the districts, and you see the ECC kids all hanging out, so that's a lot of fun to watch. But a big shout out to them, and I know our throws coach Jamie Hamilton will miss both of them. When you have two kids go to state and they both place top 5 in throws, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll certainly miss David on the track and in the football field, and great to see he's furthering his academic career at Miami. So
and then Tyler Schwinn was high jump. He got third and second in the 400 meter. Gavin Albrecht and Colin Renack went third and fourth in the pole vault. Gavin went fourth in the pole vault. Second was Colin Renack in the 1600. Brandon Waple, he was second in the 300 meter hurdles, which he saw his season come to a quick end. He got hurt. Rough end of his senior year, but he had a great high school career as well. And then Joel Vobroker, a 3-sport athlete, he was second in the 110 high hurdles. He had a great year, and I'm excited to watch him on the football field this year and again on the basketball court.
Exactly. And then as far as girls track, we got a long list.
Yeah, girls track, a powerhouse in the ECC every year. Anson Hurd was third in the 100 meter dash. Caroline Bernan was second in the 200, first in the 400, first in the 800, and third in the 1600. Delaney was first in the 1600 and first in the 3200. Natalie Waple was first in the 100 meter high hurdles and second in the 300 meter hurdles.
She was first at both.
Sorry, first at both. And she was also another one we were excited in the postseason run, but just like her brother, both kind of ended a little early to injury. But Natalie's got 2 years left, and I'm excited to see where that goes. Natalie Neese, she got first in shot and was really close of making it out in the tournament, which was pretty impressive because I believe she tore her ACL in the middle of the volleyball season. So her coming back and making that was pretty impressive. Charlotte Combs was 5th in that event. Aaliyah Dancy was 2nd in discus. Emma Todd was 1st in shot. Taylor Sylvester was tied for 2nd in high jump. And pole vault, Emily Deem was 1st, and Anna Harrison was 3rd. And then for them, again, another powerhouse as well. Caroline and Delaney went to state individually, and they were both part of the 4x8 team that also went to state. So awesome. A lot of success in that program, and a lot of those girls coming back. So that group's a lot of fun to watch.
And I apologize, audience. We couldn't list everyone with their accolades. We just really focused on the top 5, just to give a summary of the season. So congrats to everybody that contributed. That's the cool thing about track is you can go out there and, I think if you go back to the 2017, 2018 track season, my middle kid, who was a thrower, he actually ran the 100-meter, and he was like 97th out of 99 guys. He was excited that he wasn't the last place guy running the 100-meter as a offensive lineman throwing shot and disc. So shout out to everybody that did a great job. Thank you. All right, move over to the gym with boys volleyball.
All right, boys volleyball. They ended up being 3rd in the league. Milford went on a little run to win the league for the first ever true ECC title in boys volleyball. And then Walnut Hills, who's usually very good at volleyball. We split with Milford and got swept by Walnut. 11-3 in the conference, 19-7 overall. Multiple first teamers, Colton Baker, Clay Bebout, and Carter Lucas. Second team was Landon Bones-Roddick and Gavin McWaters, and honorable mention Ty Stokes. This team, a lot of fun to watch. And watching them grow over, because I don't know much about boys volleyball, but watching a lot of these kids grow from they only played school to playing club and watching the improvement over the winter took us all the way to an Elite 8. And if you ask me, we were the second best team in the state. We lost to McNick, who was back-to-back state champs. We gave McNick a run for their money, probably the closest out of anybody the whole season, at least in D2. So that's also another young group that is a lot of kids coming back.
Yeah, you hate to say what if, but if we would have beat McNick, we probably would have won state.
It was a good shot. A lot of people in the state thought that was going to be the best matchup, but the thing was McNick was that big of a powerhouse. Yeah. And they were tough to beat. And they lost a lot, and we're going to lose a little bit. But Gavin McWaters, arguably one of the best freshmen in the state, so he'll be a lot of fun coming back. And then just like kind of the way they played towards the end of the year, of the continuity of the team and of the coaching staff under Coach Brett, just a lot of fun to watch that team. So if you get to come out, watch that boys volleyball team next spring. We build their schedule tough because we try to make them go far in the tournament. Yeah. So they're a lot of fun to watch. So I'd come out there.
Do you know how many seniors we have or lost?
I think we lost 3 seniors. So
wow.
Again, a lot of people coming back. Clay Bebout's coming back in the middle. The other 2 first-teamer, Colton and Carter, are graduated, but Landon's and Gavin and Ty Stokes are all back.
Great. Good to hear. All right, let's close out the spring summary with my favorite spring sport, boys baseball.
And it is my favorite too. That's just because I've played it my whole life. I played it through college. Coach Ryan Terry, back-to-back ECC champs, led by first teamers Blake Kerrigan, Derek Fleming, and Stidham. Second team, Dylan Hacker and CJ Margraf. Honorable mention Drew Earther. A team that this year, early in the year, started off super hot. With Drew going down with the UCL issue in the middle of the year, which was our ace, reigning first-team ECC guy on the mound, dealt with a little bit of adversity, kind of needed guys to step up on the mound. I'm going to give a big shout-out to Henry Bradley here. Henry Bradley came in his senior year and just took the mentality of being an ace. And being an ace in this league and the ECC in general, I mean, you got to have Division I stuff to be shutout guy. Yeah. And that's what he had all year round. So, I mean, I've watched Henry for the last 3 years. I've had him sub for some of my travel ball friends. But I just want to give a big shout out to Henry because Henry did a great job. That's great. And that team, baseball is the one you see me pacing around and walk because I understand the ins and outs of the games. Won his first district title, I want to say, in 25 years, beat Northmont 7-2 with a complete game thrown by Tyler Roberts, who's Tyler Roberts. stepped up when we were looking for a 2, when Henry had to come up and be our 1 when Drew got hurt. Tyler Roberts stepped into that 2 role late in the year, beat Milford to clinch an ACC title, won a district final, and then started our regional final game.
Yeah.
And then so after we won districts, after we beat Northmont, we went into the regional, playing Taze Valley, who won from Columbus, who won their district. Ended up beating them 11-2 with a very good game by Henry and our patient offense. Make the other team make mistakes. And then we played Anthony Wayne in the regional the regional final. Lost an absolute heartbreaker. We're down 3-1 in the top of the 7th. Drew Earther comes up, hits a single, pinch ran for by Lincoln Pape, and first pitch of the next at bat, Blake Kerrigan hits an absolute 400-foot bomb. So that was a lot of fun, a really hype moment. But we ended up going it was 3-3 all the way through the 11th inning when Anthony Wayne walked us off in the bottom of the 11th, which was a heartbreaker for a group that has been through a lot. They when guys go down and you haven't really been there before as a school, so it was a lot of fun to watch that game. A big shout out to that game from Will Berkey. Came into that game and threw 7 shutout innings in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
So that was great to watch. It was all around good effort, and that's no shame when you lose to the state champs. I mean, they faced a guy in the state semifinal throwing 95, beat him 1-0.
Yeah.
And then they go on and win a state title 8-2. So I mean, there's nothing to hang our heads about. Of course, everyone wants to win it.
Right.
But we played a great game. It was a great fight. So Coach Terry always has those guys ready, and they're a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. They were right there. And I'll tell you, it was a stressful afternoon when I'm sitting there on a couple work calls, and I got my computer and I'm watching the video, and you got to give a shout out to the Fessy boys for doing the commentary, because I've known Ryan and Bradley for a long time, and they made that game really excited doing the play-by-play so people at home could watch it. And then you gave a shout out. I got to give a shout out to the boys that kept up the blonde hair tradition. I thought that was pretty cool. I saw Dylan Hacker golfing the other day. Still had the blonde hair rocking.
A lot of them still have it. I know Henry still has it too.
Does he? And then my favorite kicker, Brady Stidham.
Yep.
His dad Jason's one of my biggest fans on the podcast. He's always giving me great ideas, but it's great to see our kicker out there doing great things on the baseball field. And it was to be 14-4, 22-8 overall, and then the way it came down at the end there with Coach Terry on the podcast talked about the juggernaut of the ECC, and it's not a league that can be looked down upon.
Not at all.
I mean, it was a 3-way tie.
Yeah, and I was saying
that baseball.
And we always talk about Coach Terry and me and him talk quite a bit, especially during baseball season. He always rather win the ECC because it's a body of work.
Yeah,
it's an 18-game body of work, and everyone's got a Division I arm almost.
Yep.
So it's very hard to win that conference.
And if you listen to the podcast, he talks about his ultimate goal every year is to win 20 games.
Mm-hmm. And it's
we
not easy.
Crush that. With
mostly because we beat Mason, we beat Lakota East.
Yeah.
Those are 2 top GMC schools. So we don't play light outside the conference. We try to get our kids ready for tournaments. Yeah. And because the goal is everyone wants to win a ring at the end of the day.
Right. That's great. Well, and I threw in here too, got to summarize how we did with the ECC All Sports Trophy. Came in 3rd place. Looks like 175.8 points to Lebanon 180 and Milford 183. So we'll keep working on that for this.
And it was close. I mean, and little things that like just small things that hurt us. People that listen to this, not having a dance team, we got 0 points for that. So if you know anybody that wants to be on the dance team, come join that. And then we had a few swimmers sick and hurt during their ECC that just lost us a few points. But I mean, we were 67 points in the fall, which is huge for us. And I mean, that's pretty much right where we want to be in the spring. You always want to be in the top third of everything to have a shot. There was just a few things, in the winter that didn't go our way, and not having teams in certain things. So hopefully next year that, we'll be pretty close. Yeah.
It's obviously we're not playing for an all sports trophy, but it's just fun
the athletic directors like to win it.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys do. Well, that's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the upcoming fall season a little bit. We got 6-7 sports. You got any thoughts on the upcoming football season?
Yeah, so football coach Bob Mullins in his first year took the year off last year as a coach, but he was at Monroe the year before that, or a few years before that. Yep. And then he was also an assistant coach at Lakota West, Lakota East, I think Princeton. I don't know for sure. But his
resume's long.
Yeah, resume's long. So he's also bringing over a pretty good staff. Rick Haynes will be our OC, the longtime Lakota East coach. Just, and overall, just going to be a little bit of a new look for our guys. We're going to run a different offense, a little bit different look on defense. The vibes around the team, when you talk to the guys, they're feeling pretty good. Yeah. And I think I'm real excited that, we returned a lot of our big guys up front. And everyone knows you win football games by up front, both sides of the ball. So that'll be exciting to watch. They kick off. They got their first scrimmage August 8th against Oak Hills here at home. Freshmen are at 5. Varsity and JV are at 6:30. And then the week after that, they're going to Franklin.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday night. And then we open up at home with Harrison. And it's youth night. That'll be a lot of fun. August 22nd. First game's always fun. It's going to be hot, so be prepared.
Yep, the sun's over here. Whoever built our stadium needs to flip it around.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it'll be a good year. I think, we got a lot of guys returning. A lot of our specialists are returning. So it'll be a fun year to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I'm biased because I got one of those guys that are up front you're talking about at home is my kid. And the last few weeks is 5:45 in the morning, and I'll tell you what, these kids are not batting an eye. I've seen many of my son and his friends, and not one of them's complaining because they're truly building a team. They're very proud of it. They're enjoying getting up early and knocking it out, and then they get to have a little bit of an afternoon.
Yeah.
So,
and then I will say this, just really Loveland kids in general, they've done a good job of buying into almost everything. Yeah. Especially when it comes to sports. You don't really hear a lot of the, why is practice this time? Like just the small stuff. A lot of those kids, they show up and they're ready to work, and I think that's just kind of a culture that's around here and all that. So it's been a lot of fun.
And it continues in the weight room. What Coach McGarrity's done. These boys are.
I don't know if there's anyone better around, and someone like talks with the research he does, they're ready to go.
Yeah, well, great. How about girls volleyball? Any thoughts there?
Yeah, girls volleyball. So last year's regional finalist lost to an eventual state champ as well. They have opted into Division I this year. So that'll be a lot of fun. So the way Division II works, there's only 3 district winners. With some tough teams, with Kings and M&D still down there. But SUA, who we lost to in the regional finals last year, and us have decided to opt into Division I. New coach Tina Collins. A lot of our core group is back, with McKenna Curlin committed to Lipscomb. Josie Nichols is committed to Eastern Kentucky. So that group's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We got the George sisters back. Marissa Whalen's back on the outside. I'm probably missing a few because I don't know all the positions. But that group's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Great. What about girls soccer?
Girls soccer, state semifinalists last year. They lost a good group of seniors last year, but one thing I've learned about this school ever since I've got here and what everyone's told me, that group is always ready to win. Back from their state title in 2017, state runner-up in 2015. That is a program that is built and ready to win, and they don't bat an eye. You talk about another group that's ready to work and never complain, they're ready to go. They lost a few, but they're also still super young. Yeah. They're going to return some goal scorers. They're returning some defense. Again, a lot of those sophomores and juniors and seniors all played last year, so that'll be another group that'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Awesome. And boys soccer, they just got back from a long weekend in Strongsville.
Yeah, they went 5-2 up in Strongsville. Lost to 2 very good programs, there's never a shame in that. You always want to challenge yourself in the off season. A group that's, they're fighters. They ended a lot of ties. And as they always tell you, that this year they're trying to work on starting the season a little faster. Last year they took a few bad losses in the start, picked it up really good in the end. They went 4-0 against Division II before the tournament, beating Sycamore, Kings, and Anderson, who were all ranked above them. And then also beat Winton Woods. Losing Will Bertoli in the back end is really going to hurt us. Yeah. But that's when you have an all-state goalie. That hurts any team. But I think it was a young sophomore goalie coming up. That's very good. Okay. So that group will be another one to keep their eye out on, and especially if you get off to a fast start, it'll be a fun tournament run for them.
Great. What about boys and girls cross country?
Boys and girls cross country, everyone in this town runs. I feel like, everyone around here runs. But another, they always expect to be good. They're returning a lot, especially on the girls' side. With a lot of those girls, they ran as freshmen on varsity. Now they're seniors. Now that boys and girls cross country dropped to Division II, we're hoping for some deep runs as teams, not just individuals, that will get us there. Same on the boys' side with Ronan Wolfer coming back, and I believe his name's Ian. Ian, another workhorse that his track season ended early due to injury, but it's just a fun group to watch. And I will say, cross country is one of my favorite ones to go to because I know what's going to start and I know when it's going to end. It's just fun watching those kids running around the course, and especially when your kids are always in the top 10, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Awesome. How about boys golf?
Boys golf, they had a very good year last year. Another group that, it always shocks me with, when we get to, like, when we talk to other schools about golf, it's like, man, what do your numbers look like? It's always hit or miss. The boys golf numbers were usually always around 14 to 16 at tryouts, which is very good. But it's another program that, they're good. I mean, you can't ever explain it, but they show up and they're usually top 3 in the conference, at least on the boys' side. And they're a lot of fun to watch with some experience coming back.
Yeah, I play a lot of golf out at O'Bannon Country Club, and it's just this summer's not slowed down. Those boys are out there.
Yep.
And then you see a couple of them hit, or you see their handicap, and you're like, my God.
Yeah, and they're like, I covered their tryouts last year for a little bit, and like they're coming like 82s, and I'm like, I've shot under a 90 once in my life, and I'm like, wow, and just watching like that they're a good group, and they have fun on the golf course. I mean, so they have a good time.
I was 2 weeks ago, I broke 80 and had a 79, and then you watch what some of these kids do, and you're like, what is going on?
But for girls golf, numbers are a little down, but I think we are going to have 2 teams.
Okay,
that's a group. Like, we're just trying to build. We're trying to build a program, and it's hard. Not a lot of young females golf. And usually if they do, they don't usually play for their school because they're playing in some big tournament.
Yeah, true.
So it's tough and a little bit of that, but a program that goes out and has fun. They got a new coach, Kate Smith. The boys got a new coach, and Chris Burke, who both teach social studies in the building. So if you're interested in playing, please encourage your son or daughter to reach out to them, reach out to the athletic department. Again, it's just, it's a lifelong skill. So why wouldn't you want your kid to learn it?
Right, exactly. Oh, it's great. Yep. All right, and then round it out with girls tennis.
Girls tennis, again, I mean, another program, usually top 3 in the league, always very competitive, coached by Jenny Kapsakavich. Looking for another good run. We return our doubles team and I believe our 1. So again, another good team that we're hoping that makes a good run. Not only now that tournament is more of individuals, teams don't go as much. So hopefully we can get some girls out and get them to state.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Well, Shayne, thanks so much for the rundown. It's great to finally get this podcast out. I wanted to use it to kick off the school year and whatnot. And more importantly, Shayne, thanks for all you do. The hours you put in are relentless. Obviously, the passion that you have for all the kids in this school is immeasurable. And look forward to seeing you around the field and the Friday Night Lights and all the gyms for the next upcoming months. So thanks,
appreciate
Shayne.
it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. This episode was sponsored by Cappy's Wine and Spirits in downtown Loveland. Tap room, bottle shop, meeting place, great music, gift ideas, and a traditional watering hole. I sure hope you enjoyed this podcast. Good luck Loveland teams this fall, and congrats to all of our spring sports teams. Peace.